Hey everyone, it's me Noah Meehan of the Arc Truth, and today I'm going to be looking at an article in regards to apparently the United States has been put on the Human Rights Watchlist by a nonprofit organization called Civicus. Honestly, I never really heard of it, but apparently it's kind of a big deal, kind of sort of like Freedom House, if you guys ever heard of it, where they basically monitor each country's freedoms and how they grade them. It's and in this case, it's Civicus has a different system in regards to how they monitor things in comparison to Freedom House, but nonetheless, it's still basically the same thing. I will be doing a little bit of a video later on in regards to foreign policy, more specifically in regards to their Greenlandic elections, how the right wing managed to crush the left in Greenland, and how it could potentially affect the future acquisition of said island by the United States, something which I very much support, and I'm looking forward to making that video. But nonetheless, let's take a dive into the Hill in regards to this article. Quote, U.S. added to Human Rights Watch list over Trump moves. By the way, if you guys want to see this very ridiculous article, I'm going to be putting it down in the description down below, so if you guys want to see some cringe, be my guest. Quote, the United States has been added to Civicus monitor list of potential human rights threats, a move the global nonprofit says is directly linked to President Trump's actions since his return to the White House in January. What else is new? Apparently the big bad orange man dictator is back. Restrictive executive orders, unjustifiable institutional cutbacks, and intimidation tactics through threatening pronouncements by senior officials in the administration are creating an atmosphere to chill democratic dissent, a cherished American ideal. Civicus interim co-secretary general Mandeep Tawana said in a statement, the Trump administration seems hell-bent on dismantling the system of checks and balances, which are the pillars of a democratic society. Funny, because I don't recall a rogue bureaucratic system being a check on our democracy, which, by the way, I must say, we're a constitutional republic, and the checks and balances system is in regards to the three branches of government: the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. The bureaucracy is meant to be a part of the executive branch, and it's supposed to enforce the law. And from what I understand, so is the president, and he's just doing what is stated in the Constitution so far in terms of trying to actually enforce federal law, and that includes trying to dealing with some tax cuts and spending. Which, again, I do not understand how this is a bad thing. I have yet to see anything in regards to how this would affect civil liberties. U.S. joins Congo, Italy, Pakistan, Serbia in Civicus first watch updates for 2025. Gross abuses of executive power raise serious concerns over the freedoms of peaceful assembly, expression, and association. Now, this is specifically in regards to apparently pro-Palestinian protests, although I would like to separate some of them as pro-Hamas more so. It's one thing to be pro-Palestinian and, of course, to be peacefully assembling, but when you're pro-Hamas, you're actively supporting a terrorist organization. A terrorist organization that that is, well, deemed a terrorist organization by the federal government. For good reason, I might add. And by the way, there was that one guy from Columbia University that apparently the Democrats are wanting him to return, even in spite of the fact, I think his name was Munmoon. In spite of the fact that not only is he a non-citizen, not only was he advocating for destruction of Western civilization and even calling on for more demonstrations and attacks, and even orchestrated them, or not attacks. I mean, just he definitely orchestrated protests at most. But last time I checked, the Supreme Court, based upon a few cases, actually grants him this right. So where's the destruction of civil liberties? especially considering the fact that guy is not an American citizen. Anyway, continuing on. Citizens specifically pointed to Trump's push for mass firings of federal workers. I don't understand how that goes on with civil liberties, the dismantling of foreign aid programs, and his treatment of the media and efforts across the country to tamp down pro-Palestinian protests. This is, oh my god, it's freaking ridiculous. Because Civicus apparently, they also downgraded America to a second tier. It's still free, but it's narrow according to them. And last year, that was based upon how on Joe Biden and how he was treating the Palestinian protests, which some of them did become violent and was vandalizing a lot of crap. Sorry if I hit the mic. And yet, they did not look into the lawfare against Donald Trump, the fact that there's been fanning of the flames, at least on the left wing, by the mainstream media. Hell, they don't, as far as I know, as far as I've seen, actually, they have not, I repeat, they have not downgraded the country in 2024 based upon the fact there was an attempted assassination against Donald Trump. Explain that one to me. Literally explain that one to me. And I could go on with what Biden did throughout his entire term, but I'm not going to, because this already is. I already do not take this seriously, because they do not focus on specifically what other things Biden has done, not just in 2024, but throughout the entire term. And it's going through this idea of somehow mass firings of federal workers being a violation of civil liberties. First, federal workers are not entitled to keep their jobs when they're being lazy. And second, I'm pretty sure that Donald Trump is not the first president to actually fire people. In fact, I recall there was a strike in regards to airport controllers back in 1981, give or take, and Ronald Reagan decided to fire them all. I'm just saying. And the dismantling of foreign aid programs. That money is not entitled to other foreign nations, because that money is from the American taxpayer, and when we're putting that money in, we expect to get services out of that, not something like, I don't know, spending $59 million to house illegal immigrants in New York City in luxurious hotels, or an extra few $1 million for transgender mice. I'm just saying. Plus again, with the treatment of his treatment of the media, this is the same media that has called him a fascist, a dictator, and so on and so forth, to the point where it actually contributed to 2 of his attempted assassinations. So don't give me this bullshit of how somehow the mainstream media here in the United States is completely without sin in regards to their relationship with Donald Trump. And with the pro-Palestinian protests, well, I've already said enough with that. The point I'm trying to make here is, this only shows that we should not take many of these groups seriously. If they have this clear bias towards certain people, even though that, again, say Joe Biden, in regards to what they do, and yet they do they have exactly different standards for someone like Donald Trump, these are people you should have no concern over, because they don't intend to have any standards in regards to fairly practicing them, whether it be over Biden, Trump, Obama, etc. But by the way, there was even a mention about how Trump Trump's firing of federal workers is trying to replace loyalists. Yeah, no shit. A lot of presidents, way before Donald Trump, have tried to establish their own loyalists to carry out policy. Hell, they intend to carry out policy. It's, for example, in the form of judges, like say Bush appointed judges, Obama appointed judges, Trump appointed judges, etc., just as a means to have a lasting impact once they're out of office. So I'm not saying that's a perfect system. I mean, God knows in regards to the activist judges and the bureaucrats currently what's going on. But nonetheless, it is what it is. And Donald Trump is just following the same precedent as many other presidents have. So don't give me this crap. Again, I cannot take this seriously. This should be completely thrown by the wayside. I don't really care. Next time, civicists, if you actually are trying to claim that America's freedoms are actually under attack, please give me better evidence than simply firing federal workers or cutting and pausing foreign aid, because that's not really unconstitutional. And this is why people hate the mainstream media and the establishment. My name is Noah Meehan on The Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below, like this video, subscribe, and share with your friends. Also, if you have any issues regarding my videos, such as how I speak or any of my improv, please post them down in the comment section down below or directly message me. Thank you.
West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain.